All right, now we're here with the director, Wendy Jo Carlton. Is
Right,
that right?
that's
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I have a problem with names, so if you have to
That's
excuse me.
totally fine.
Okay. So I want to know, how did you get involved with Hannah Free?
Well, I first got involved working on the Chicago Gay History Project. I was a co-producer and a videographer of that, and one of the people we interviewed was Claudia Allen. And then Tracy and I got to talking about, well, you know, she's got all these wonderful plays and these stories. Let's make a lesbian feature film here in Chicago. Are you in? And that began that conversation between Tracy and Claudia and I.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful story to be told. So,
Yes, it is.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I've been making short films and writing for many years now. Grew up in Michigan and live in Chicago now. I love storytelling, I love writing, I love directing and photography, and so that's my background. And this was my first feature-length film, and to have Sharon Gless as the star was a little intimidating, but
She's great, though, isn't she?
she's great. She's very generous. She's very kind.
Right.
I let her know I was nervous. She said, you know what, I'm nervous too. This is my first feature-length film as the lead character. Believe it or not, with all my experience, I'm still very nervous about this, so let's be nervous together, or let's calm down together, but we're in this together.
Oh, good. And you're going to be coming to Milwaukee, I understand, for the festival.
Absolutely.
October.
Oh yeah, we love Milwaukee.
So, oh, good. I love Chicago, too, but I get lost out here. I said we took a long time getting in from Milwaukee today. So.
I always see Chicago and Milwaukee kind of like little twin cities in some way.
Yeah.
It's good vibe. Good
Yeah.
vibe here in the Midwest.
Except when it comes to the football teams and the baseball teams.
Oh dear, I know. Depends on
It
where
gets
you-
a little hairy then,
That's
but
true. That's true, and we're kind of rivals,
Right.
right? The
Oh,
Bears and
definitely.
the Packers. But I like both teams, but now that Brett Favre is in Minnesota, we'll see
Minnesota.
what happens. We might get creamed by Minnesota this year.
I wouldn't worry about it too, man. He should have retired when he left the Packers. So I don't know if you heard about Clunkers, Cash for Clunkers.
Yes.
They got a T-shirt for Brett Favre #4 on it.
Oh, my God.
Cash for Clunkers. That's in,
He's
that's
still
in
good,
Milwaukee.
though.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see this year because he's getting old, and we'll see if he
2-0.
gets hurt or not. You
They're
know.
2-0.
Yeah. If he can last the season, who knows?
Hey, you know, it's like making a feature film, right? You know,
Right.
You're kind of like you've got to have enough stamina to finish the game,
Right.
and try to have some dignity as you finish it. I don't know if I've kept my end of the bargain, but I tried.
Well, it's great that you did this. I really think it's a great thing to
Glad
get
you
out
liked
there.
it.
Good word to get out there.
Thank you
so,
very much.
and hopefully, maybe we can see you in Milwaukee because we're going to be doing a film festival there. So,
Great. We'll see you there, Sharon.
Okay,
Thanks.
take care.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, we're here with one of the producers and the writer, creator of Hannah Free. And Claudia, we've done things together already. We did an interview for Cahoots, I believe. We did it for that.
Oh, and we date back to Deed of Trust 15 years ago, Sharon. You and I have been together a long time.
Right, and I've always enjoyed your work. And I want to ask you, now has Hannah Free got the humor in it, that touch of humor that Cahoots had? I mean, Cahoots just, that was great.
Well, Cahoots was more of a comedy. This is serious, but there's still a lot of humor in it. I think it's the only way you can survive a really serious subject like this.
Yeah.
And Sharon's very funny. She's just naturally knows how to get those laughs.
Yeah, that she does.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this particular story? Did you have somebody in mind that this happened to, or?
You know, it really is much more work of imagination. I was concerned about lesbian and gay custody rights, being able to visit the people. There's just too many times that people are closed out by supposed families of people.
Right.
So I wanted to put a human face on that issue, so I made it up. But there are bits and pieces. When I look at it, I think, oh, there's a little bit of that lady I knew, and you know, there's a lot of little bits and pieces of people that I know.
Well, it's a great story, and it's something that really needs to be told, I think, you know.
Well, and I think that kind of a story, if you tell it in a theatrical or in a film way, can change people's minds about an issue.
Yes.
Rather than just reading some dry piece about it, really caring about Hannah and Rachel can make a difference, I've found, as we've done it as a play and now as a movie.
Right, well, I think people see this particular movie, I think they're going to get a little better perspective of what people have to go through being gay, you know, because
Well,
I have a daughter that's gay, and, you know, there's some real mountains there you have to climb.
Well, and there are a lot of gay and lesbian people that never see, almost never see a movie that's got a long-term relationship, and there are a lot of issues, a lot of you know, what it's like to be in a relationship where you have your ups and downs. It's just these women have loved each other since they were little girls, and you don't always see that reflected in the culture if you're a gay person. So that was important to me too, and I hope your daughter likes it.
Yeah, I'm sure she will, and she's a big fan of yours anyway. So.
Oh, well, thanks.
So yeah, well, I want to thank you because you know it's been always a pleasure talking to you, Claudia. You're from the Michigan area, though, right? You're not from Chicago?
Well, I lived in Chicago from 1979 on, but about 5 years ago, my mother's health started slipping, so I started spending more time in Michigan and found I kind of liked those Catholic fish fries up there. So,
fish boils.
And my dad's still alive, so I'm still spending more time up there than down here. But I love both. I feel like I've got two hometowns.
Yeah, well, I like Chicago too, except I get lost every time I get out here. We got lost again today.
For a small town girl, I'm frighteningly good at Chicago. Of course, I'll say that and I won't be able to find my way home, so I shouldn't even say that.
Well, we aren't home yet, so this ought to be good. I said we'll probably take all night to get home. So, well, thank you, Claudia.
All right,
I appreciate your
Sharon.
time. It's
Well,
been a
thank
pleasure.
you.
And hope to see you in at the party.
Oh, absolutely. Thank
Okay.
you.
In fact, can you buy drinks in there? You can't, can you? I was going to say, I'll buy you a drink.
I think you can buy liquor drinks, otherwise the stuff's free. And I'll probably really just have a Coke or
Oh, okay. 'Cause All right, we're here with another star, young Rachel, that
Correct.
plays in there. What's your name, ma'am?
My name in real life is Ann Hageman.
Okay, I didn't want to pronounce it.
That's
I'm a
okay.
killer on names,
That's
so
okay, that's okay,
I
that's
didn't want to do
fine.
that to you.
Sure.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've done?
Sure. I am a professional actress. My primary focus is film and TV. I have two sons, and when they were younger, I took some time off from acting, so now I'm back into it. They're both a little older now, and when this opportunity came up to do Hannah Free, I was very excited for lots of reasons. One, the writing's incredible. Two, it's a beautiful story. And three, I have a sister who's a lesbian who lives in a small town. And I thought, wow, there's no better way to pay tribute to her and anyone else who is going through this than to do this production. So.
See, I have a daughter that's a lesbian, so
Okay, all right.
I think this is a very important movie to
Yes,
get out
it
there
is.
for people because we have
Yes,
too much
it is.
ignorance out there yet, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
so you want to explain your character as the younger Rachel? She's got to be different than the older one if it goes true to life, you know?
Right. Well, she doesn't have quite as much life experience, and Rachel grew up in a very fundamentalist Christian home. And she was taught that a woman should marry, have children, stay home and raise them, and take care of her husband. But all during her upbringing, Rachel has this need to be with Hannah, a girl from her childhood that she loves. And Rachel actually does marry and sort of tries to deny that part of her life. I don't want to give it all away. But the need is there. And love is love, and she can't deny the love that she has for Hannah. So I get to explore Rachel as a young woman, but also in spirit form, where she comes back to see Hannah having been through life experience. So I kind of had to look at that character from two ends of her life, very multi-generational. So.
Well, I want to thank you for taking this time with us. I appreciate it, and
You're
I'm looking
welcome.
forward to seeing the movie and seeing you play. People play this out. So
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have
Thank
fun
you.
in Milwaukee. All right.
If we make it back.
Yeah, you will. All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
All right, now we're here with the young Hannah, who is played by Sharon Glass, and you're Kelly Strickland.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
I am a Chicago actress and director that's been working in the city for about 15 years. For the past few years, I have been primarily teaching. I'm on faculty at Loyola University, and I also run an outreach program for Raven Theater where I bring arts education to Chicago public schools. So this was sort of a return to acting for me.
Okay, how did you get involved? Do you know Claudia Allen and her works?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I directed one of Claudia's plays probably 5 years ago, I think. I've known Tracy for many years now. The Lauria Tia, who is the second AD on the film, she was the original stage director of Hannah Free, and she directed me in a play. So we have sort of second generation Claudia relationships here. And but everyone sort of comes back to knowing Claudia's works and having worked on her plays.
How did it feel to be play like a young Sharon Glass?
Right? Nice work of being in Gala. You know,
nice lady.
Oh, an absolute joy. She was really generous with me, and I think with the entire cast. You know, the bad news is I had no scenes with her, so I actually I really didn't get to work with her, but she was still very very generous, just with any sort of helpful hint that she could give about how the camera works, and just generous of spirit, you know.
Nice lady.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, I want to thank you, Kelly, for joining us and taking this time out.
Thank you.
I appreciate
it.
Thanks. Good luck with the movie. It's a great one.
Thank you.
Can we have all of the actors and all of the crew up on stage, please? Or in the front of the stage if you're more comfortable. Claudia to say a few words, then Wendy Jo, and followed by Sharon Glass.
Hello, I'm Claudia Allen. I'm too close to the mic. And I just want to thank all of you for being here and being so supportive of us. This was a hometown effort, and it's amazing to me to see what we came up with all your help. So thank you for that. And I want to thank this gorgeous cast. Anybody who's been watching my plays for years probably recognizes 3/4 of the cast, because bless their hearts, they're some of my favorite people in this town. And then there's somebody named Sharon Glass who said yes to me and bought me lunch. She called me and said, "Do you want to have lunch at the Four Seasons?" Which I'm always game for. And while I had her there, I asked her if she would do this little movie of mine, and it's become a pretty amazing experience. Thanks to all sorts of people, but certainly largely thanks to her as Hannah. So. And all the other crew people, Wendy Jo as the director, was a huge effort to get this done. And Tracy Bain.
Well, we started this trip in Chicago about a year ago, and it's really great to be here. Bring it back home this week. I want to also thank the talented cast, everybody, Sharon Glass, Maureen Gallagher, Kelly Strickland, Ann Hageman, Jackie Jackson, who just went down the street, made a performance, and came back. That's Greta. Jackie Jackson is Greta. Meg Falcon, Patricia Kane, Elaine Carlson, Bev Spangler, Les Hendricks, who's not here, Sean and Kate, who showed up tonight, a fantastic Kate from the flashback to the Wax, who are having drinks and smoking. And it was a real pleasure to learn from all of you and work with you, so I feel very blessed. I want to thank Claudia. Since we're here in Chicago, we don't always get to be together, so I won't try to take up everyone's time, but I'll try to be quick. But thank you to Claudia for creating such a beautiful love story and for characters, and for trusting me to interpret your work and bring it to the screen with you. I still remember all the wonderful times sitting in my car for hours